All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And this is what I just discovered on my phone about a few days ago when I was visiting the brothers down in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. And I was with the brother Yawan and the brother Janir Allah. All right, so just going through my settings, trying to set up something for a live show to do on my phone. And this is what I came across. Exposure notifications. So let's click on it. It says availability alerts. And it was already automatically turned on. Okay, I didn't do any of this. So then it goes to the turn on exposure notifications, but I didn't click on that yet. Well, let's read this first. It says, exposure notifications are off. If you turn them on, your public health authority can notify you of possible exposure to COVID-19. Your iPhone is not collecting or sharing exposure notification data with anyone. If you turn on exposure notifications, information related to your exposures can be shared with your permission. So, it's saying if I click this on and someone else clicked it on next to me, it will let us know and share. It's saying the phone will let us know and share that we're both of us individuals are not exposed to the COVID-19. All right. Availability alerts. It says receive a notification if exposure notifications are available in your current region. Your region is based on a general location check from your iPhone. Okay. Now, we know these phones are another way of a tracking device. And, as the brother Yawan put it together as well, he said, every app you open, even new app you download, they always ask you if they can use your location. All right. And whether you say yes or no, they are still using your location somehow. All right. Turn on exposure notification. It says your iPhone can tell you if you may have been exposed to COVID-19. Your public health authority guidelines determine if an exposure is significant enough to notify you and provide next steps. You see? So they're tracking you and they're letting you know that we'll know if you're exposed by the COVID-19. All right. Now, I don't know how true this is or not. I'm just reading what's been told to me for is this on the phone. Okay, I don't know how true it is. I don't know if someone went through this already and their phone told them they was exposed and they was contacted, or whatnot. I don't know that whole ordeal, but I do know, this is just a way for Satan, right? Which we know who this is, who the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan here in the flesh on earth is, right? Which is Esau Edom. All right, so you see, so anyone with an iPhone, and I can imagine also different Android phones as well, but iPhone users, hey, this is already automatically updated to your phone. Okay, and I know they didn't ask me this on my update, all right, but they just already put it in because really Esau don't have to ask you shit. All right, so you see it. So what scripture comes to mind when you see things like this? Book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11. It reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Let's read it one more time. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his different methods that he's using or that he's going to use, okay, to try to ultimately have you chipped, all right? Which is going to start with the Maxine first, right? He's going to go through his whole Maxine, platform and carry this all out But then he's going to move forward to his ultimate plan, his ultimate goal, which is the RFID, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. All right, but see, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, and see, the further reason why they're going to want to put that chip in you, okay, and things like that, because say if people say, you know what, I don't want them to track me, and I don't want them to know if I'm exposed, and they start leaving their phone at home, or they just toss their phone and don't use the phone again. See, Esau's not with that. Esau wants to know your whereabouts all the time. He wants to know every movement. Okay, everything you're doing, where you're going, what you're buying, what you're watching, what you're listening to, what activities you're into. He wants to know all these things. So what way or what will he use to be able to do this? The RFID microchip, right? The RFID microchip will be the way he will be able to use, be on you like white on rice, right? Where there's no escaping him. Okay. So I got a few articles I want to, not articles, Salakia. I got a few clips I want to play. Lord willing, hoping it's edifying. All right. So let's start with, matter of fact, let's start with this one first. Okay. So I'm right here.
Status, i.e., vaccine. Welcome everyone, I'm Spiro. Thanks for tuning in. There's a lot going on and a lot to cover, but in this report I'd like to specifically focus on one of the major changes coming our way as we transition into the Great Reset and the new digitalized system of control, and that is digital IDs. A topic we have covered here on the show previously. I'll leave links for some in-depth reports on that regarding the UN's work with the Gates Foundation and ID 2020, among many others, to establish a digital identity and birth registration for everyone on the planet under Sustainable Development Goal 16.9, which is part of the UN's 2030 agenda. But for now, I want to focus on this news that just came out here within the past couple days. The International Civil Aviation Organization, which is a specialized agency under the United Nations, has announced they are one step closer to bringing digital identity-based travel to a reality, as they have endorsed specifications for the first digital travel credentials. Now, additionally, the United Nations just announced that they are rolling out its own biometric digital identity wallet. As you can see here on Biometric Update, the UN Digital Solutions Center is a pilot project for the World Food Program, which is a United Nations program, and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and the United Nations International Computing Center, which I have reported on previously, that was very instrumental in the development and implementation and rollout of 5G almost a decade ago. So this particular UN biometric digital wallet is intended for UN employees, and it can be used for data related to human resources, medical status, i.e., vaccine status, travel, there's your health passport, payroll, and pensions. It's going to be hooked up to your financials. Now, this can also be used for onboarding new employees or helping transition those who are leaving or retiring away from the organization. Now, here is a quick promo video.
Digital transformation is changing the way we manage our data, our information, our interactions, and our identities online. The United Nations is ready to digitally transform how it deals with identity, with a system to streamline information sharing, daily workflows, access to platforms and buildings, operating across agencies, by providing its personnel with a universal, system-wide identity solution. Introducing the UN Digital ID, a unique and digital identity for UN personnel from the day you join to the day you part. All of your personal, HR, medical, travel, security, payroll and pension data in the palm of your hand, giving you full control on what you share and with whom. With blockchain and biometrics, the UN Digital ID makes verification efficient, secure, transparent, immutable, portable and universal. It's been piloted by different agencies and the UN Pension Fund, where they've replaced current manual processes with certainty for who and where pension recipients say they are at any given time. Imagine a regional field office has just joined the UN. She uses the mobile app to obtain a digital wallet, stored securely in her smartphone and only accessible to her with biometrics. Even better than a physical wallet, she can store all her credentials issued by any UN organization in her digital wallet. She has immediate access to course certificates, travel clearances from UNDSS, medical records from allergies to vaccinations, also making any transfer to another organization a breeze. As innovation transforms the world, we can improve the way we manage our identities online. UN Digital IDs, a building block for digital cooperation, unlocking the promise of the SDGs.
I hope you see where this is going. Every aspect of our lives will be centrally digitalized using biometrics, AI, 5G, and in many cases, blockchain. And when you hear the so-called stakeholders, such as the United Nations, or the central banks or governments, or the World Economic Forum, who just blocked me on Twitter the other day, reference the private sector, they are talking about tech companies, fintech companies like Ripple, or foundations like IOTA, who are currently working on digital IDs, distributed ledger technology, cryptocurrencies, smart cities, and the Internet of Things, just to name a few. This is the new digital system of control the social engineers are referring to when they talk about the Great Reset, along with the social controls via United Nations Agenda 21 and the merger of man and machine via the World Economic Forum's Fourth Industrial Revolution, which Musk's brain chip, Neuralink, fits into nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah. When he talks about man and machine, that goes into transhumanism.
Now, all of these pieces of the puzzle are hiding out there in plain sight. And of course, this new system is being ushered in and justified by the current manufactured crisis. This is classic problem reaction solution in real time. And it's not just happening in some far-off land halfway around the world, and you have years before it will affect you. This is the rollout/implementation phase. Example, just today, Acquaint, a leading global provider of identity verification solutions, announced today that it has become an official member of the Digital ID and Authentication Council of Canada. And when you look at their partners, it's crypto exchanges, credit card companies, banks, and what are they interested in? Well, this says right here, document authentication, behavior data, biometric verification, liveliness detection, transactions, your personal data, digital footprint. And what industries are they working in? Well, currently they're working in retail, telecom, health, finance, banking, transportation/travel, government, and border controls. All of these aspects will be part of your digital identity, including your credit and possibly social credit scores. Just today, they announced a partnership with Canada's government. So this is moving forward day by day. And there are countless other examples, like MasterCard working on biometric immunization records for the Wellness Pass, another digital health passport. Now, why would a credit card company be interested or concerned about your current immunization status? I'm sure you can see or imagine where this may be going. For example, Spiro, you didn't get your latest shot, your booster shot. We'll have to impose travel restrictions upon you. You can't go to work, and we're going to freeze your assets or your payments until you comply. Is that really too far off? Because it certainly seems that they're setting up the framework for a coercion scheme just like that. They may not have to mandate anything after all if they can encourage you to obey. Now, although we are seeing more talk about...
You see, and we've been trying to tell you of E's plans of what he want to do to you. All right? And see, the Lord's making E's tongue fall upon themselves too. You got devils exposing devils. All right? And it's a big wave of this information coming out. So there's no excuse for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? There's no excuse. You cannot say you haven't been warned by the men of the Lord, the servants, the prophets. All right? Now, with all this going on, they're going to put all this information, all that data, in what? A chip, a microchip that will be implanted in you, all right? Because it's not going to just be, you could just use your cell phone, all right? No, they want this thing to be placed in you, all right? They want it placed in you. They don't want it to be wavery where you say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this no more. I'm just going to, stop using my cell phone. All right. And no, he's not going for that. Right. All this is leading up to what? the mark of the beast system, right? The mark of the beast system and the chip, okay? The chip that is going to be the main factor that will be used, okay? I want to play one more clip. Let's get the scripture real quick. Matter of fact, I want to go into this one. So it's not far-fetched, that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. It's not. All the information is out there. It's the book of Revelation 13, verse 16. It says, "And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, and free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark," right? "Save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." So without having the mark of the beast, without having the RFID chip, you're not going to be able to do anything. All right. And this is what everything is coming down to, down the pipeline. Now I want to play one more clip for the sake of time. I want to play one more clip. All right, just a few minutes of it.
If you've ever had this feeling that something
Let's start at roundabout here.
is terribly wrong,
Because, oh boy, you don't want to use the cash because of the germs. They're using the fear of the germs and the money to make people accept this, agree with it, and go along with it. Then you hear places like Venezuela, right, who are going completely cashless. You heard in the video clip about states that are going to be using more and more of these cashless toll booths. Now you might say, well, what's the big deal? We already use, Easy Pass. Well, it's not going to be an option anymore.
Well, if you've driven on the thruway lately, you've probably noticed all of the work happening near the toll barriers and signs warning drivers that cashless tolling is coming soon. Well, guess what? It's happening next month. Here's 2 on Your Side's Dave McKinley.
I think as we move forward and we see what technology is available, it makes sense.
And it's coming earlier than previously thought. Since the Thruway Authority first announced it would spend $355 million to make the entire length of the state superhighway cashless, it had been saying that the job would be done by the end of this year. But now we're hearing it'll be done in November, with a precise date perhaps to be announced this week. This also means if you've been putting off getting an Easy Pass, you might want to do so to avoid being billed by mail. In parts of the Thruway, like this.
Right? It's like I've said a million times with things like Facebook or cell phones. When cell phones first, and so you don't
hundreds or even thousands of dollars and not getting the bill in time to avoid incurring fines for non-payment. On top of that, the Thruway is proposing that toll-by-mail customers pay 30% more than the rate for Easy Pass holders, plus a $2 administrative surcharge per billing statement. When the system does go cashless next month as well, nearly 1,000 full and part-time toll collectors will lose those jobs.
It does create some pain for some.
4 of those.
And so you don't get stuck in traffic or have to slow down to go through the booth. I get it. But it's another way to completely push out cash in any way, shape, or form. And that's how they're going to continue to do it, because they're going to make it about convenience and health and safety. And I'm telling you right now, and I've said it a million times, the celebrities are going to be the ones who are called upon, just like they've been called upon with voting and all these other things, wearing a mask. They're going to be the ones who are called upon to push this, and they're not going to push it down your throat to the point of saying you're a bad person if you don't do this. They're going to show them in TV shows nonchalantly how easy and fast it is. They're going to quietly talk about, oh, this was great, that was easy, right? I didn't have to wait in line or anything. Look how quick it worked. And it's just subliminally, the more people get desensitized to it and the more it gets beaten into their head, the more that people just end up doing it, right? It's like I've said a million times with things like Facebook or cell phones. When cell phones first came out, I remember people were like, what is the point? I have a landline. Like, people used to have their own room line numbers, like when we were kids, your own private room lines your parents couldn't pick up. So at least you could talk to your girlfriend or somebody on the phone, not worry about anyone eavesdropping or having your mom go, the phone's for you, right? When cell phones came out, people were just like, what is the point of this? I don't get it. Now, I mean, if you can't leave your house without your cell phone, your head explodes. People will turn around on a 2-hour drive, they realize they don't have their phone. They can't live without it. They're dependent upon it. The same with social media. When it first came out, everybody was talking about how queer it was. Oh my gosh, who wants to do this? How embarrassing. Now it's like, people think I'm weird because I'm not on Facebook or any of these places. Right? I get that all the time. That's strange, that you're not on there. Is it? It's kind of strange that you're posting pictures of your toenails after you paint them. I find that a little disturbing and creepy and very unpleasant. I don't need to see that every day. Also, don't need to see pictures of your dinner. If you'd like me, maybe I'll sign up for it and post some pictures of my morning dump if that's what interests you, if you want to see what I'm doing every hour of every day. No thanks, I'm good. Okay? It's not about me, but that's what the world is now.
And he's making valid points, okay? E is going to use these different celebrities, which already cause you to err, to push these things, okay? To push these things and say, this is the way, right? Just like how they're doing with this whole 19 thing. They're saying, take it serious, mask up, use sanitizers. Don't go here, don't go there. My family got it. This is very dangerous. Don't take it as a joke, people. This is what they're going to do. Okay? This is what they're going to do. And then they're going to use the subliminal messages, and push it, and because it's called gradualism. Different more TV shows is going to, we're going to push it out through more TV shows, push it on the radio, may even have entertainers push it through the music. We already know they got it going on in movies, okay? And they're going to make it, and they're going to make it seem, and this is going back to the RFID chip, right? They're going to make it seem as if this is the best case scenario, right? Like, people don't like waiting in lines. Let's say this, right? Check this out. So say if there's a drive-through, okay? There's a drive-through, and you got a cash-only line, and you got a debit and credit card line. But the cash-only line is a 15, 20-minute wait. Every time you ride past from work, you're like, dang, it's a long line there. 15, 20-minute wait. But then the other line, 5 minutes, 7 minutes top. Right? 7 minute tops. And you got somewhere to be, or you're just hungry, you just want to get in and get out. But that's the cashless line. The credit and debit only. Which are people going to go to first? They're going to go to that line. And then that person that's, that doesn't like credit or debit and gets sick or tired of waiting there and wants to eat now and got somewhere to go, what are they eventually going to do? They're going to either get a debit or credit card or start leaving their money in the bank to start using their debit and credit card to go to that line, right? And then what they're going to say, they're going to talk on the phone, what she said if it's a woman, they're going to be like, girl, I start using that credit and debit line and how much easier it is. I get home earlier. I get to feed my belly faster. That might not say it in that exact way, but still, that's the point. I even seen it with, when I went to Disney World, all right, people had, it wasn't called the Easy Pass, but it was called I believe it was like a season pass or something like that, where you were able to just come jip the whole line. I'm talking about an hour, 2 hour wait, right? For certain rides. And they used to just walk up and it was like a little ring around their wrist. And they used to just put their wrist up to the little pass gate, and they would just go right through and be right next in line to get on. Jip the whole line. And I was like, damn, I wish I would have did that. But this is to get on a roller coaster. So how much more these people for the chip, man, to get things, they need or things they want. And they can have that easy access by just what? Taking Maxine. Taking the chip. You see where I'm going with this? It's going to be easy, man. So see how E have set this thing up? How E got people, in the palm of his hands? How E has everybody, crippled or disabled, but yet he's right there at the same time with the crutches in his hand, or a knee brace or a leg brace, to say, here goes some support, I got you. People are going to be taking it willingly. Willingly.
The same is going to run true with this cashless stuff. They're going to start it out slow. People are going to go, I don't know. I don't want a chip in me. I don't see the point. And they're just going to beat it into people's heads with like, all right, I guess so. And then they're eventually going to say, look, you don't have an option. Just like they're going to do with cell phones, where they're going to say, look, you got to get 4G or 5G. We're not going to allow you to have these old dated phones anymore, like flip phones, like phones that I have.
Exactly. Just like how I upgraded my internet to a faster speed. It immediately said, you need a new modem. Your internet speed is too fast for this modem. So what did I have to do? I had to get rid of my old modem and get a new modem that was able to handle that speed. So none of these things are far-fetched. None of these things are far-fetched that we be speaking of. Jake just don't get it.
Right? And I'll just say, all right, then just shut it off because I don't really need it anyway. This is the world we're living in, folks. We're heading towards a full cashless society. Countries like China are pushing it, promoting it.
And Salakia for continuing to pause it, right? Remember, you see how he just said he was going to toss his phone? In a previous other lesson, it was talking about how your digital wallet and everything is going to be through your phone and things like that at first, right? See, it's just a transition because he don't want you to just be able to toss your phone. So he says, you know what? This thing has to go in their body. Okay? This thing has to go in primarily their right hand or their forehead. But this chip has to go in their body.
Universities are promoting it. Highways are promoting it. Stores are taking less and less cash. Laundromats aren't even taking change anymore. And this is quietly stuff that goes on where it just starts to become normal. And people don't even realize this is leading to transhumanism and the mark of the beast. So keep an eye on this stuff while the nonsense with the politics goes on, because they just continue to normalize this kind of crap and nobody notices it because they're too distracted by the circus. I want to remind everyone, please check out my website at Call for an Uprising.
That's right, man. That's right. You know, I believe this guy's an Edomite, you know. But he even knows this is transitioning to the mark of the beast. So, you know, Lord willing, hope this quick lesson was edifying. Until the next time, I want to say shalom.